Super Bowl Boulevard, New York City, 2014. 48 took place February 2nd, 2014 at MetLife Stadium. The Seahawks beat the Broncos 43-8. Bruno Mars and the Red Hot Chili Peppers played the halftime show. But all that stuff, that happened in New Jersey. The really fun stuff, that happened in New York City. Working on Super Bowl Boulevard has to be one of the coolest events I've ever worked on. Now, Super Bowl Boulevard went from Times Square all the way down to Herald Square. About 13 blocks of Broadway in New York City were cordoned off with football-themed games, performances, sponsor-related activities. For this event, I worked for the production company that provided all of the labor. So we provided hundreds of guys working around the clock for about 2 weeks leading up to it. The only problem was most of the time during the load-in, it was below freezing and it was snowing.
Super Bowl Boulevard, full-size goalposts, TVs, and understatements, like calling the Super Bowl the coolest game in history when it's downright freezing.
The biggest attraction on Super Bowl Boulevard was definitely the toboggan run. It was the length of a full city block. Now, the offices that they gave us, it was just a building that happened to have an empty first floor. They threw tables and chairs in there, and we lived in there for 3 weeks. But it was right outside of where they were building the toboggan. And so when they were almost done with it, I went up to the top of it, and I took this picture just to get the perspective of looking down. And one of the designers came up to me, and he said, "Hey, we got to test it out. Want to be the first one to go down?" And I said, "Hell yeah, I do." The north end of Super Bowl Boulevard around 43rd Street was where Fox Studios built their pop-up studio in the middle of Times Square. And the very other end of Super Bowl Boulevard was Herald Square, and Macy's had a big role in it. They had a massive NFL pop-up shop that I think you could get your face printed on a football, like any kind of custom, like crazy whatever, football, anything you could get there. But one of the cool things that they did is they had a video display on the outside of the building facing Broadway. And if you've never really experienced video mapping, they can do some really, really cool stuff with it. But the video mapping that they did on the side of the Macy's building was absolutely iconic as well, all Super Bowl themed. And here you go, this was it.